Hey everyone, George with the Art of Water, and just wanted to update you on this particular tank. We had kind of a minor disaster a couple of nights ago. I was doing a water change in this tank and also doing some maintenance on the filter, and my phone had rung, and it was a long distance call from a relative that I could not avoid. The lid was off and the filter was totally submersed, not totally submersed, but it was partially submersed, I should say, out of the back of the tank. And it's got kind of a telescopic sort of flow valve on the top of it. And what was happening with the small chili rasboras is they were being pushed by this strong current to one side of the tank, and unfortunately 5 of my chili rasboras ended up out onto the floor. What had happened is I had forgot that I had started cleaning this tank. That happens when you have so many tanks around you that sometimes something can get away from you when you're always doing maintenance on them. Anyways, I lost 5 of my chili rasboras and really was bummed out about that. Unfortunately, they got out onto the floor and I didn't find them for almost an hour and a half. And obviously, there was nothing I could do for them. Anyway, I did find my supplier did have some chili rasboras in stock, so I restocked the tank. The tetras, the amber tetras, did absolutely fine. Didn't have any issues with them going over. I don't know why. I think it was just that the rasboras were so tiny that they just didn't really have a chance on that current that was pushing so hard. You really had to be here to understand exactly what happened, but the bottom line is we lost 5 of them. My ember tetras were all fine. I did pick up some more chili rasboras. This was really just an ember tetra chili rasbora tank, and I did, however, pick up a couple of other fish for this tank because I did want to add a few anyway, and I ended up picking up the scarlet batis, which is known as Dario. And man, are they colorful fish. They're just absolutely very tiny, beautiful fish. They're in the bass family. And they really are really fun to look at. Their colors are very bright. They're beautiful. I unfortunately don't see them out and about right now. I was hoping they would come out as I was talking to you. They've been kind of territorial with each other. As people know, the scarlet batis is a really male-dominated fish in this industry because it's hard to get people to let their females go because they're hard to come by. So all 3 of them that I got, I do believe are males. I have one that is a lighter color that's kind of hard to tell, but I think that's kind of a false female is what I think that is. I think that it's actually a male as well, just not as colorful. There's one right now just over my side of my CO2 near the bubbles there, actually gliding across the front of the tank right now, which is kind of nice. I'm glad he kind of came out while I was doing this video. But anyways, I've really been enjoying them. The one thing that I know about these particular fish, I was a little reluctant to get them, is because they're really hard to get off live food and go to dry food or flake food with. But I don't really mind that challenge. I think that that's going to work out okay in the long run. But anyways, there's 3 of them in here. They're trying to figure out their territory right now. They say about 8 square inches of territory per male because these are absolutely nano fish. They will not get any bigger than 3/4 of an inch ever. They're not going to get that big. So anyway, I'm enjoying them, and as you can see, he's kind of enjoying me right at the moment, running around the front of the tank right here in front of me down in the left-hand corner. And going to try to get him off, or get the three of them off, the live food over the next few weeks. But right now, I'm just not going exactly with live food. I am going with some frozen foods right now that were basically recommended to me by my supplier, and so I know that at least they're eating, and they're very, very active, so I know that they're healthy. Everybody in the tank's very healthy. Very, very happy with this build here. It's been a really fun one. I did hook the CO2 back up to this because my plants, even though I'm dosing them a little bit with fertilizer, they were just getting a little bit dingy and really not looking as green and pretty as they normally would. So about a week and a half ago, I did hook up the CO2 back on this tank, and I think I will leave it running for a while and kind of see where that goes. But it's a small drip. It's not much because this is not a very big tank. It's only a 20-gallon, so or excuse me, this is a 10-gallon. I apologize. This is a 10-gallon. And so don't need a whole lot in here. You can see that the carpet plants in the front are doing really, really well. We've got some water lettuce that's just absolutely taken off in here. In fact, I'm going to have to trim some of the roots on here to prevent them from hanging down too much here. They do get snagged up on this piece of wood. Now, one of the reasons why I did a rebuild on this tank a couple of weeks ago was because of that particular piece of wood that's in there. I was guaranteed that this wood had been treated and had been used in water before when I purchased it, and it would not get that white fungal slime on it. But I did notice within a week or so, even though I soaked it for a couple of weeks before I used it, that I did notice in some of the cracked areas and some of the crotch areas of the branches, they were developing some of that fungus, and it was really getting kind of nasty smelling, and I just didn't like it. So I took the time to grab some maple stone, which is one of my favorite stones, and take out the Utah limestone that I had in here, and traded it for the maple stone, which I think has a lot more character. Anybody that wants to comment on that, whether they think that this stone is better than the stone that I had in here, I'd sure appreciate your opinion on that, and we'll just kind of see how this one goes here for a while. Kind of hard to escape things when they've already been done, but this one here turned out pretty good. I'm really happy with it. I have gotten a lot of really nice comments on it about how beautiful the tank is. It is extremely healthy. Everybody's happy and healthy except for, well, me being the guy that was negligent, and unfortunately we lost 5 of our little chili Rasboras. But I was able, like I said, to get some more, so I'm really happy about that. I like those fish. They do well with the Ember Tetras, and the new addition of the Scarlet Batis, or otherwise known as Dario. These guys have only been in here a couple of days, and they seem to be sort of figuring out their place in the tank, and I'm really happy with it. Everybody's getting along. There's nothing that's out of whack here. Water parameters are absolutely perfect, so on, so on. Anyways, this is George with The Art of Water, and if you have any questions or want to leave a comment, I hope you'll subscribe and give me a thumbs up when you get a chance, and also look for those notifications of any new videos that I might have. We did start our tank, our 500-gallon tank at the new house, and I'll be doing some live videoing over there over the next few weeks as we start to progress on doing the scaping on that. But for right now, we're just sort of getting a lot of the plumbing done and that sort of thing to get the tank ready for scaping, and we're making some progress on that. Anyways, George with The Art of Water. Hope everybody's doing well, and Hope you're enjoying your escaping and your fish tanks as much as I am. It's a fantastic hobby. Even though occasionally we have those little pitfalls that we do to ourselves, unfortunately we can be our own worst enemy in this hobby, and that was the case the other night with me. So a good healthy tank, and unfortunately I lost some good healthy fish, but it's a lesson learned not to walk away from a tank when you're in the middle of doing something. Just, don't answer that phone or whatever. We could always get back to people. So anyways, George with the Art of Water, you guys have a good one. We'll talk to you on the next video, and see you next time.